sexy.
Kindness is sexy.
KIS. Kindness is sexy.
Kindness is sexy.
Hi, it's Mary Ellen O'Neill Madeley with KIS, Kindness is Sexy. And today I'm with Zain Campbell, who's a local musician and an incredible young man who gives back to the community on a regular basis. Tonight we're actually going to talk about some of the things that you are doing in the community. First, I'd like to talk about how we met.
Yes.
And the very first time I met you was in the spring of 2018
Yep.
when I was organizing the first annual prom for Youth Haven. Youth Haven is a shelter for youth experiencing homelessness
Yep.
in Simcoe County.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And you agreed to volunteer your services, which was incredible for the youth because you could totally relate to them. They absolutely loved you the night of the prom. And it was so nice to see you connect, not only during the event, you performed and they loved that, but you also connected after and you took the time to talk to the youth. So I wouldn't mind, since we met during my time at Youth Haven, I wouldn't mind if you tell me now what it is that you're doing with them still.
Yeah. So earlier this year, I did a performance for them. They did their backyard camp out in downtown Barrie.
Yes.
And so I got on the bill to perform. It was last minute because they were booked, but I got on it thanks to some of my friends that I know here. It was an actually really good experience. Different because I've never really performed outside in Barrie before. So like there's a lot of different people that I've never met, so I was able to network more.
That's fantastic.
But it was a great experience.
And any money raised goes to Youth Haven, but it also raises awareness for Youth Haven, which is a really good thing as well.
Yes.
I remember when you had lost a friend, and that person was very important in your life, and you've continued to do fundraisers for him.
Yes. So my good friend, my mentor actually, his name was Jake Beers, and he taught me a lot with music, in terms of like how to promote your music, how to invest in yourself, stage presence, mixing, mastering. So he taught me a lot of good things, and we linked in a very short time, but we became really close friends. So his passing was really hard on me and in the rest of the community. So his family, shout out to Annette and Sean Cuppage. They have been putting together fundraisers in Jake's honor. It's called the Home Sweet Home Foundation. It's for suicide awareness, people going through depression and anxiety and all that. So that's in association with Aurelia Youth Center. Here, they're trying to get into contact with Youth Haven as well.
That's
just
fantastic.
To kind of spread the awareness that way. It's a great fundraiser, and I've been doing performances pretty much every other month. So I'm very grateful that his family allowed me to help keep his memory alive by doing these fundraisers and raising awareness for obviously youth who are going through depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts and stuff. So it's very important to me.
When I was young, in high school, it wasn't out there the way it is now. And I lost a lot of friends in high school, and it was really sad because some of them were after high school. And it doesn't stop at teenage years or in your 20s. There are a lot of people who are in their 30s and 40s who just go through something that they eventually can't take. And unfortunately it ends in suicide. And I think that someone like you, someone as young as you, getting involved and raising awareness and making that impact, I think that is huge. And I'm so proud of you for that. Because you're just such an incredible inspiration to a lot of kids. And for you to have gone through things in your own life, I'm not sure if you want to talk about any of those, but you know that my children have the same condition you have.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if maybe you might want to talk about that or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Aside from being obviously very depressed and very anxious, I suffer from Tourette Syndrome, and it's I'm grateful to have a very minor case of that, only because I know how intense that full-blown Tourette's can get.
Yes.
I don't have coprolalia. That is the form of Tourette's that you swear a lot and stuff
Yes.
like that. I don't have that, but I have very minor tics where I have twitches, and sometimes my walking pattern's weird, and I have to, just do little quirks and stuff. So that's definitely a part of who I am, and I kind of I'm not ashamed of it. And usually back when I used to be on camera, and I used to watch myself back and watch my tics and stuff, I used to get really embarrassed. But now it's kind of just like, this is who I am. I can't change it, so I'm just gonna own it.
I think they're kind of cute because they remind me of my kids. And both my kids have verbal tics and motor tics.
Yeah.
Our son, obviously, he has, people who know him, they know he has more motor tics than our daughter has. But I'm so used to it.
Yeah.
So when I met you, I knew right away.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. And I was so thankful that you were open to talk about that. And I do think that it's important, even in this conversation, that we talk about it, because I go out shopping and I will see young men, young women who are ticking, and I see them when they're around people, they actually will go around a corner and hide. And every once in a while, I don't want to upset them, but sometimes I'll just go around and say, you have Tourette syndrome, and the only reason I know is because my children have it. And then all of a sudden they'll start talking. I just don't want to offend them by just bringing it up. But then I always say, you never know if sometimes one person saying, I know you have that and it doesn't bother me, that maybe that changes them thinking, hey, I don't really have to hide it.
Yeah.
Because you've been very open about it, and even when we're talking on camera or you're doing an event, the nervousness does affect the tics.
Yes.
I know it does with my kids too.
For me, I remember back when I first started making music, it was when I was 12 years old. I was going through a really hard time in school. I was getting bullied a lot. I was living in BC with my parents at the time, and I was just very stressed, and my tics were insane. I used to have a really bad stutter when I was younger, to the point where I couldn't even talk.
Our son had the same thing.
I had to have a speech and language therapist to come in and help me learn how to talk. So my dad found out that I was writing raps or poems, I guess, and so he thought that they were really good, so he was like, let's put it to a beat. So he made beats and stuff, and he recorded me, and in the height of my stutter, when I was recording, I had no stutter. So it was the moment he hit record, I had no stutter, so I was able to do it. And then the moment the recording stopped, I was stuttering again. So that kind of shocked me as well, being wow, I wonder if this is my calling, if this is what I should do. I learned that people with Tourette's, when they focus on something, they kind of just become normal. Absolutely. And they have no tics because it's stimulating for the brain. So I try to do as much things that are stimulating to my brain as possible. So music, art, just everything like that creatively, it helps me just focus, and I don't have to tic that much, because it does take a lot out of me sometimes.
Yes, and I do. Both my kids have said that for a very long time, that it affects you and it drains you. You live in Aurelia.
Yes, I do.
And I'm just wondering if there are other things that you do in the community for the youth.
So I'm involved with the Aurelia Youth Center as much as I can. And so what the Aurelia Youth Center does is they help just the youth find a place where they can just have a spot and just be creative. They sometimes have movie nights, they have arts and crafts, they have food fundraisers for youth to come over and eat, homeless community to come in and eat, and
that's fantastic.
Find purpose. And so they've been really incredible for the community of Aurelia. They do a lot of venues and fundraisers and all that, and I'm very grateful to be a part of that. Kevin Gangloff is the director of it, and he's been such a great supporter in my career, and he's given me so many opportunities. So shout out to Kevin Gangloff. So growing up in high school, I used to do a lot of open mic nights. They'd have open mic nights basically every month or every other month. So I used to do that, sharpen my skills, sharpen my craft. Everybody loved it when I came around, and it just gave me confidence, right? So I kept going back, and I kept promoting Youth Center and be let the youth know, this is a great place to start if you want to try to break into music. They have open mic nights, go in there. Sometimes they perform at the Aqua Theater, which is a huge amphitheater over there.
I've performed there before.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So Sometimes they have gigs there. With COVID, it hasn't been
Right.
a thing yet, but I'm hoping soon it'll be back up because
COVID has changed a lot.
Yes, it has. It's been very stressful, but hopefully open mic nights happen again, so it helps the youth to kind of get more confident in who they are and to share their voice, and I think that's incredible.
Do they do things that other than vocal? Like, do they do poetry nights or anything like that?
The open mic nights, you can basically do anything. You can just go up there and share your talent. I remember a friend of mine once in high school, he could balance objects on his chin, so he went over to the youth center for the open mic night, and he balanced like a chair, he balanced like a desk. Yeah, so you can just come and have fun, and there's no judgment and there's no criticism. It's just fun, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so
it's awesome.
I might come out just to watch you guys, so I'll keep up with you.
Yeah, and then a few years back, I lost a buddy of mine. His name was Nelson Bell. He goes by the stage name Valis, and he was 16 years old. Car accident, and so the youth center and the community chipped together, and we made a recording studio in the Aurelia Youth Center for the youth.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
For the youth who are struggling with just like commuting, if you want to record, commuting is a hassle sometimes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And sometimes studios can be expensive. So I rallied together, helped the youth center to create a studio in Nelson's honor, in Jake's honor, and all the other youth in the community that have passed away from suicide, or just passed away in general. So they keep their legacy and memory alive. So we had a recording studio at the youth center here in Aurelia. Due to COVID, it is closed at the moment, but hopefully soon it'll be opened and people can come over and record. And so we have some engineers on deck, and it's going to be good. So.
Are there things going on outside right now?
Yes, yes, there is. There is a Facebook page in honor of my friend Jake Beers, who passed away. It's called With the Help of All My Friends. It's on Facebook.
That's wonderful.
And you can join the group, and they keep you up to date on jobs that are hiring. They keep you up to date on what they're doing in terms of fundraisers and gigs, and where you can buy merch from certain artists in Aurelia.
That's great.
What the youth center is doing. Just keep you up to date on all things Aurelia and also Simcoe County. It's kind of like an up-to-date page on current activities, so it's a really good page to get involved with, and the admins are incredible people, and so if you want to reach out, go there. They're doing amazing work with the youth center, so I recommend going on there. With the help of all my friends on Facebook.
Are there other organizations that you work with in the Aurelia or Simcoe County area, or?
No, it's mainly just for the main part right now. It's just the youth center in Aurelia, Youth Haven. I want to get more involved with Youth Haven, of course, but I'm grateful that I was able to be a part of the gig the other day.
I know a lot of the youth loved having you out, and I know that a lot of them really connected with you.
Thank you. Yes.
So it'll be nice to have that additional connection once again.
I love to perform again for that. That was amazing. That was like, I didn't go to my prom in high school. So like it was cool that like I was able to go to a prom, but also perform at it. It was like out of a movie. I liked it. It was great.
So maybe we could talk about as well what it is that you are working on now. Like, what are we looking at for songs or whatever it is that you've got going?
I got some songs in the works for sure. I'm signed to a label right now, so I will be coming out with some new projects very soon. Some new singles. An album mixtape, if you will, and then just go from there. So next year definitely will be riddled with Zain music, so I hope you guys can take a listen for that. So I'm looking forward to that.
What about what you've done in the past? How can people find you if they want to see what you've done in the past or what you have out there already?
Yeah, you can search Zain Campbell on YouTube. You can search Zain Campbell on Spotify. You can search Zain Campbell on Apple Music. I'm all there. I'm the first thing that pops up, because I'm original. And so go there. You can check out all my songs, all my music, and go there and follow and share and subscribe. And I also reply to my DMs on Instagram. So if you want to message me, feel free to message me, and let's connect, let's network. I love to do that. So.
But your Instagram isn't Zain Campbell.
It's Zain Campbell, actually, at It's Zain Campbell. Because I changed It's Zain Campbell.
Yes. Because I was going to say, I remember I was looking for Zain Campbell, and I was like, wait a second, it comes up, but it's ITS.
It's Zain Campbell. Yes.
And Zain is ZAIN.
Yes. So feel free to connect with me and network, and I'd love to listen to your stuff, and I'd love to record with you if you want to record. So just hit me up. Just network.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are there any specific initiatives that you really want to let people know about and make sure that they pay attention to or get involved in?
Yeah, so like I said, the Aurelia Youth Center has a recording studio in honor of one of my good friends that passed away. It's called the Vallis Sound Initiative. So what it is, you can donate, you can give away any instruments that you have to the recording studio. If you're not using a guitar, if you're not using a piano, if you're not using anything, donate it to the youth center. They'll love to have anything signed as well. If you're willing to give away something signed, like by someone, feel free. It'd be great to have in the studio to just bless it. You can donate to the Nelson Bell Fundraiser as well, which helps just the youth in the community and the family as well of Nelson. And then there is the Home Sweet Home Initiative fundraiser, where all the money donated is going to be donated to suicide awareness, the youth that are going through suicide,
Awesome.
youth that are struggling with depression, anxiety. So it's a great cause. Aurelia is doing some really good things. There's an amazing talent pool in Aurelia, so
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys to see it, because it's going to expand, it's going to grow. So yeah, I'm looking
I
forward
love
to
to
it.
see that you're so involved, and I
Yeah.
love to see that you get excited when other people
Mhm.
are doing well too.
Yeah.
It's not just about you. I've seen
Yeah.
different posts that you've done, and the feedback too,
Mhm.
that people say you're such a great kid, but I already knew that anyway.
Thank you. I have this vision, because I'm very passionate about my community. I think everybody should be passionate about their community, where they're from, and where their roots are made, because it's just, that's where you're going to find the majority of your support. That's where you're going
Yes.
to find the love. That's where you're going to
Absolutely.
find the people who are going to help you get to where you need to go. So I'm very involved in my community, because they're just amazing. So I have this dream of one day it'll be me, it'll be many others who are on the red carpet. Like some are winning Grammys, and we're all together, and we're all from the same town, and like we all get back to the same town. So like that's my dream one day, of like there's a few artists from Aurelia who are really growing and popping. So like I really want to be able to one day be on tour with them, or be able to really showcase Aurelia to its fullest from all the mega talent that's
I
here.
can totally see that
So
happening.
one day, so who knows?
It will happen.
Who knows?
You'll just manifest it all. I know you will.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
It's really nice to see how excited you get about your community and the people in it, and the
Thank you.
youth in your community.
Thank you.
And they're very lucky to have you. Like, really seriously, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. They're really lucky to have someone like
Thank
you.
you. I just want to say thank you for this interview, and thank you for getting me involved in Kindness is Sexy. It's such a great brand. It's such a great cause. So subscribe and follow, and man, yeah, you're doing great things. So
Aw, thanks
very
so
proud of you.
much. Honestly, I'm really thankful to have you out today, and I hope that more people get connected with you.
Yeah.
And I have to say, as always, kindness is sexy. And honestly, this young man, Zain, is one of the sexiest young men I've ever met. And sexy in the sense that it's attractive. His heart is attractive. His soul is attractive. And his music is so attractive.
Wow.
And thanks, everyone, for coming out. And I hope to see you checking this young man out.
Peace. Wow.
Kindness is sexy.
Kindness is sexy.
Kiss.